Hi, I'm Mandy Pryor and welcome to Spotlight on Pittsburgh. Spotlight on Pittsburgh is a program about Pittsburgh's most fascinating people and what they do to make our city an amazing place to live and work. When we come back, I'll introduce you to Leah Dietrich, Director of Residential Programs from City Mission. Later, we'll introduce you to David Kane of Wounded Warrior Project in the special episode dedicated to our vets. Hi, and thank you so much, Leah, for coming on.
Thank you, Mandy, for having us. We're so excited that I was able to come out today.
So if you can, tell me a little bit, I guess, first about your role and City Mission.
I've been at City Mission for about 7 years now, and throughout, I've had the opportunity to really learn and grow about the homeless populations that we have in this area. And I've kind of transitioned. So I started out as a counselor, and now I'm the Director of Residential Programs. And that means I oversee all of the residential beds at City Mission and all of the programming that's happening there. So we have about 160 residents all in, and 22 of them are veterans. And we're so excited to talk about that program today.
Wonderful. So what can you tell me? The City Mission has gone through some enormous changes. Just a little background on City Mission and what its actual mission is.
Absolutely. So City Mission is essentially, we're a homeless rehabilitation program, and that really means that we help individuals who come from all different backgrounds, whether it's drug and alcohol, mental health, maybe medical issues, domestic violence in some cases, and we have them come to us. We provide them with service. So for the first 30 days, they come into our program and we assess them. We assess whatever needs, whatever barriers they have. And then we work on devising a plan to meet those needs and remove those barriers. So we spend the first 6 to 9 months while they're with us in what we call our life recovery phase. We provide them with classes and programming, counseling, case management, and we really work a good plan to get them to stabilize and to prepare for the future. So they spend time in our career center, getting services through our medical clinic, and then whenever it's time, we move them towards our reentry phase, and that's all about finding employment or finding education that meets their needs and sets them up for a successful future. Our goal is sustainability with everyone, so we allow them to stay with us for 6 to 9 months after they find work to allow them to maintain that stability, have that first argument with the boss, have a first disagreement with a coworker, and save money so that when they leave, they're not only able to pay their rent, but they have a little bit of a cushion to prepare themselves for the future. We never know what's going to happen in life, and I think that that's a good way to balance those concerns and deal with those issues.
And so how many vets are you able to, and I guess homeless as well, how many are you able to house at this point?
So all in, we have capacity for 160 residents across 4 programs. We have a Women with Children's program that holds about 35 individuals, 11 families. We have a single women's program that holds about 16 women. We're currently over capacity at 21, and there's a growing need for that population. We have a men's program that can hold up to 90 individuals, and then we have our veterans program, which houses 22, and it's a very special program. Our 2 newest programs are Women with Children and Veterans, and the veterans program has been a long time coming, and this is our newest population to serve. We're very excited about that.
And can you tell me a little bit about the veterans program in itself?
Absolutely. So our veterans program is a little different than some of our other facilities. Each of the vets come in and they follow the same basic structure, but we're able to address some of the issues that veterans struggle with early on in their stay. So a lot of veterans come back from war with some wounds that aren't visible to the eye. They come back with PTSD and some trauma, and sometimes they can struggle to really feel like they fit into society. So what our program's meant to do is, number one, we try to come at them with veterans. Veterans work best with other veterans. They feel more connected and camaraderie. So we've separated that program into its own facility. So the Crabtree Kovacicek Patriot House is the full name of the facility, and it's beautiful. It has 2 floors, The first floor has a quad space, and that's where the folks come when they first come through our doors. They go into a quad with 3 other guys, and we find that that's a really positive thing. So they feel supported, they're not alone, and that allows us to assess for PTSD or depression.
Sure.
Suicidality in veterans is very, very high. 22 veterans die each day.
I actually
suicide.
did the push-up challenge. So the 22 and 22 days?
22.
You have to do 22 push-ups
22
for 20
push-ups.
days?
Yes. Yes, I've heard of that. And I think that it's so important that we bring awareness. And that campaign helps to bring some serious awareness to this need. And that's one of the reasons why we have 22 beds in the facility, is to represent and to allow us, everywhere we go, to speak about the fact that there's just such a great need for this population. So after we assess them in those spaces, they actually get to move into a private room. So they have a bedroom space that is private, and then they have common area for things like restrooms and also for their common living space and kitchenette. We do not have a kitchen facility in that building because we serve all of our residents in a common dining hall. We believe that one of the best ways that we can heal is in community, and having all of our residents together for a meal is a great way to kind of build bonds.
That's wonderful. And so your other programming, you have a men's program as well as the brand new women's and children's shelter as well.
Yes.
I had the opportunity to tour the facility. It's beautiful, and what a great space for families to come when they're in need. Can you tell me a little bit about those programs as well?
Absolutely. So each of our programs is focused on what those specific needs are. So for veterans, we focus more on PTSD, and we focus on adjustment back into society. We use programs like a RAP program that's specifically for veterans. We're also starting to do some other programming that focuses on veteran needs. On our men's program and our single women's program, we focus on drug and alcohol and mental health, and we focus on just finding ways to help them address whatever brought them to us. Drug and alcohol addiction is so common. With the opioid epidemic in this area, we have specific programming meant to address and reduce the risk of relapse. And we believe that one of the other ways that we can help reduce that risk is by involving people in service. So not only do people come to volunteer at City Mission, but our residents volunteer throughout the community. So our veterans actually participate every month. They adopt a different soldier abroad, and they send a care package filled with letters and some snacks and things that, yeah, absolutely. And they feel really passionately about that, but they've done a lot of different things, different service projects. Our men and women do the same. Our Women with Children's program, our newest program, is a bit different in that it focuses more on parenting. So we help our moms to learn how to be moms. In some cases, they haven't had their children for some periods of time for treatment or domestic violence issues, and they're really reconnecting. So we teach them, how do you deal with that toddler that won't stop throwing toys, or how
I think we can relate on
that. Yes, I can relate to that. I deal with that at my own house every night. So we really try to help people to find their way, whatever those issues may be that their population faces. And we always try to relate to people. I mean, every individual that comes to us has a story and a different background and different needs. So the program is always the same, but then there's elements that we add to meet those specific needs, those specific challenges.
And so what are ways that people can get involved? What do you have coming up at the City Mission?
Well, we're about to celebrate through the holidays our 6 days of Thanksgiving. So there will be 6 days of meals coming up in the next week. We're also going to be serving about 300 meals that we're going to take out into the community.
Wow.
So we're serving Thomas Campbell Apartments in Washington, also ARC, and our residents and our staff and volunteers will be coming together to produce Thanksgiving meals, huge meals every day. We typically serve about 300 meals a day on an average day. In the next couple weeks, we'll see that almost double. So we're excited about that. We also have some Christmas events coming up for our residents, and we also do an angel tree. So if anyone's interested, we have angels that you can adopt. You can adopt 1 angel or 100 angels. We'd be happy to have any of those things. And those are Christmas gifts, not only for our residents, but also for children within the community. So we host a Santa's Workshop event every year where we give away hundreds of toys to individuals in the community that might not be able to give their children a Christmas this year. We think it's so important that not only we bless the residents that we have, but we also are able to reach our hands out and help the community.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Leah, for coming on. We'll give more information on how you can donate and get involved with the city mission after the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. To find a volunteer opportunity or donate, please visit citymission.org. When we come back, we will have David Kane of Wounded Warrior Project. Hi, and welcome back. So unfortunately, David couldn't make it today, so we're going to keep Leah on and talk a little bit more about City Mission. I do want to say, if you want to learn more about the Wounded Warrior Project and what they're doing to contribute to our community, please go to woundedwarriorproject.org. Leah, welcome back. Thanks so much for staying.
Thank you, Mandy.
You're welcome. So maybe we could go on a little bit more and talk about what you do out in the community that you serve.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things we're getting ready to do with the Thanksgiving season is we're getting ready to distribute 250 boxes of love into the community. And that's a further outreach.
That's really nice to hear. Just, I need a box of love, or give a box of love. That's great.
Absolutely. So what that includes is it includes an entire uncooked Thanksgiving meal. So it allows you to have the fun of cooking and stuffing a turkey, which I know is something that we all love to do. So it provides you with a turkey, stuffing, potatoes, even a dessert, and a board game. So it really allows people in the community who might not have the means to provide a Thanksgiving meal to their family to be able to do that. We're really excited. This is our second year of doing that outreach, and we've actually increased the number of boxes of love. So we have a whole bunch of turkeys right now, which we're grateful for. And we've had volunteers that have actually provided all of that food and donated the funds to make that program happen. But on a daily basis, even beyond boxes of love, we provide individuals in the community with food that may not have food. We have a food pantry service, and we also offer clothing vouchers. So a lot of individuals donate clothing to the city mission, and sometimes you'll see those items of clothing in our Hidden Treasures thrift stores that the proceeds all go to support our
work. Very large thrift sale.
Yes, we had a warehouse sale, and we were actually able to make $10,000, which is amazing.
Wow,
we're thankful to those that came out and also those that give, because those products go to support the programs that we run for our folks. But our clothing, we actually do a clothing voucher program. So individuals who need clothing for themselves or their children are able to shop at our Hidden Treasure stores at no cost. So we give them a gift certificate, and they're able to go down and get what they need. We also offer to our neighbors in need the opportunity for a cold weather shelter through our Samaritan Care program and a warming center. So it's cold
very
outside.
Important now.
Yeah. And even with 160 beds, there's still a need in the community in Pittsburgh and Washington and Greene, Westmoreland County. We have residents as far away as Florida, if you wouldn't believe that. And from everywhere in between. So we're happy to be able to serve the community and to keep people warm on days like today when it's freezing outside. I would hate to see anyone be there.
Absolutely.
So during the day, folks can come to our Samaritan Care Center and get warm, have coffee, have a time to just be with others. And those folks end up actually helping with our food pantry distribution, and they're helping with boxes of love right now, putting things together for the community. So that's just one way we're able to help.
Well, it's nice to hear that there's a place where people can walk in, feel cared for and
Yes.
feel a sense of community, and that they're still surviving and things can be better.
Absolutely. We try to give hope to everyone that comes through our doors. At the City Mission, we believe that it takes courage to change, and it's important that we are there with our arms outstretched and ready to accept those in the community that need that help.
And so your volunteer or community outreach programs, how can people get involved? How can people get to know you? And I guess, is it more of a one-time thing? Can they volunteer on a consistent basis? Is there both?
There's definitely both options. So we have some volunteers that volunteer every day. You would have no idea that they weren't a full-time employee at the City Mission because they're just so dedicated. And they help us to do things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do. So they're able to really allow for some of these outreach opportunities. Then we have some folks that maybe want to volunteer one day. Maybe you want to serve a meal, or you want to volunteer at a thrift store. But then there are ways to stay involved on a consistent basis, and really there's such a need for both that I would encourage anyone to come down, volunteer. Sheila Coquette is our volunteer coordinator, and she is fabulous. She will get you connected, and she will make you feel like you're really a big part of the team, and we couldn't do it without our volunteers.
How many, and if you don't know the number, I understand, how many volunteers would you say you have at City Mission in a given year?
Well, I can't tell you exactly how many volunteers, but I can tell you that we have about 2,500 hours of volunteer service every month at City Mission. So our volunteer numbers, I believe it's right around 1,200 a year, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I know that it has really drastically risen in the past year, and Sheila's a huge part of that. Our team works really hard just to engage the community, and we're thankful because more and more folks are getting involved, especially from Peters Township area towards Pittsburgh. People are coming down to Washington and getting involved in the City Mission, and we're so thankful because there's ways to get involved that are maybe even more a part of the program. We have folks that are volunteering to teach GED now, which is a great piece to our Career Center. We have nurses working in a drug-free pain management clinic. We have...
So quite possibly your employment could be of huge help in a different way than volunteering traditionally.
Absolutely. We have everyone from physicians to counselors to everyone in between that's coming in and being a part of what's happening at City Mission.
And, I have 2 jobs and a toddler and this community TV show. So I'm a busy person. I'm constantly going, can barely find time. How else can I help? Like, how else can I, without having, the time to spend, what else can I do? Or how else can I donate?
Absolutely. We accept donations of any kind. Financial donations are what keeps our doors open. We are 99% privately funded, and that's something that not everyone knows about City Mission. So this is not a government-funded program. The only government funding we receive is for an 18-bed shelter plus care permanent supportive housing program that is 18 units in the community that we help individuals to find apartments, and then we provide them with case management. That's the only funding that we get, and that's just to cover the rent for those apartments. So we need the support of donors, and we also appreciate donations of goods, whether it's food for the food bank, whether it's clothing for the residents, or also for donations of used clothing. Definitely helps at our Hidden Treasures thrift store. So we're grateful for anything that people can donate. Even prepared food. Some people will donate prepared food left over from a birthday party or an anniversary party to our kitchen. And those are all donations that we can use and we're grateful for.
And how do they get in contact with you? Do they just bring it somewhere? Do they get online? What's the process?
If you go to citymission.org, it will explain to you the different ways that you can give. As far as food, we'll take that anytime through our kitchen area. And if you come to our campus, we have a campus map that'll show you exactly where to drop off certain donations.
That's good. I know some people, myself included, get a little lost whenever we go to a new place. So.
Yes, come through the City Mission Arch and you'll always be able to find someone who will direct you.
Well, is there anything else today that you'd like to share with our audience that maybe they don't know about the City Mission? Also, where you're located.
Absolutely. So City Mission's located at 84 West Wheeling Street in Washington, PA. We're in the heart of Washington. You'll notice the campus whenever you drive near it. It's all red buildings, and we have a beautiful arch that was just installed. So please come on in once you see us, and we'd be more than happy to show you around and give you a tour. Whenever we talk about City Mission, there's one area that we sometimes don't talk about, and it's one of our newest programs, and it's really impacting veterans. We started a program called Drug-Free Pain Management Clinic, and we have a full-service medical clinic on site that some individuals don't know about. But once a week on Wednesdays, we have this clinic, and it's meant to address people with chronic pain. A lot of veterans come back with chronic pain. A lot of residents come in with chronic pain, and sometimes we have individuals that struggle with addiction to pain medicine.
They're trying to get rid of it, and
absolutely,
they're taking it in their own hands instead of trying to find professional help.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we help individuals to find is pain relief without medication. It's called drug-free pain management, and that's exactly what it is. So we have physical therapists, nurses, and an athletic trainer that come in, and a physician, and we have some other specialties that come in at times as well. And we assess people's pain, and then we use different modalities to help them to find pain relief. And one of the things we've started using is Alpha Stim, and if you've ever had a TENS unit attached to you at any point in time for physical therapy, it's meant to help to relieve pain by the use of electric current.
Oh, okay.
So the Alpha Stim works in the same way, but with a different wave pattern, and it actually treats anxiety, insomnia, and chronic pain.
Oh.
So a lot of veterans struggle with sleep. Sometimes they struggle with anxiety in the form of PTSD, and sometimes they struggle with pain. And we're able to treat all three with this tiny little machine. We just had some more intensive training on it yesterday, but the VA's actually started to use it to treat veterans, and we just started to do it 8 weeks ago. So it's very exciting, and we're seeing some really great results with folks. But we're just so excited to be able to provide that, because some of our residents don't have the means to get treatments like that. And to be able to offer it on campus, we've been able to help 42 residents with that so far, and a lot of our veterans are in that 42. So we're just excited about the wonderful things that are happening and the opportunity to really serve people in ways that maybe are non-traditional. We try to offer a holistic program with everything from spirituality. I mean, the City Mission's founded on faith, and addressing all of those other needs is important to us as well. So we're really trying to do everything we can to help people to remove those barriers and change their lives forever.
Great. It must be very fulfilling to work there and work with the community as much as you do.
Absolutely. I love it.
Well, I am so glad we got to hear more about City Mission. You're located in Washington, PA, correct?
Yes.
But you have residents everywhere, all the way to Florida. So, you're really reaching out to a lot farther than we can think. We thank you again so much for coming on the show today, and hopefully everybody hears your story and they find a way to donate, or they find a way to volunteer to help as well and really help the community.
Thank you so much, and we thank everyone in the community that's already giving. Without the community, we couldn't do what we're able to do every day, and we're just so blessed to do it.
Thank you so much. At Spotlight on Pittsburgh, we want to thank all the veterans for their time and service to our country. Once again, thank you to Leah for visiting us today on Spotlight on Pittsburgh. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Spotlight on Pittsburgh, and join us again next time when we shine the spotlight on 2 new guests.